Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I hope my friends who are getting tons of snow are hunkered down and safe and warm. And to all of my friends who are in New York City for the college audition Unifieds weekend, break legs to all the kids. So I'm coming to you today with the Daily Dose. Oh, hold on. So I'm Erin Harrigan. I am a business coach, the founder of Hustle with Heart Coaching, helping entrepreneurs align results to God's truth. I'm also a brand ambassador with the #1 global healthy living business company, Arbonne. And this is my Success God's Way Daily Dose. So coming to you today on two topics. First, I want you to know that when I come to you on these topics, these are things that I work through too, guys. Like, this is not me saying, haha, I know you're going through this and let me give you some wisdom. No, this is wisdom born out of experience. So the first thing I want to address is comparison. I was talking with a friend yesterday and I noticed that as she was talking about her business, hey, Shri, that she kept sort of pointing to issues with comparison. And, well, if I did it the way that person did it, or I did it the way that person did it, or this person started at the same time as me or after me and they're having more success. And she just seemed to be really tied up in comparison. And so I want you to know that first and foremost, God has made all of us. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made. He knew all of us before we were knitted together in our mother's womb. So we are all individuals, we are all unique, and we all have a unique path and a unique journey. And it is that journey that enables us to use our mess for our message and inspire others. And that's exactly how this idea of Success God's Way and our Success God's Way community on Facebook came about for me, because I knew that my journey, that others could relate to my journey, even though their journey was different. But really tied up in this comparison thing. And so I did not dig up the scripture this morning, and I'm going to do that after we're done, because I'm going to post it below about what God says about not looking left or right and just, really focusing centrally on Him. But it is really easy in business, in life, in anything, to get caught up in competition and comparison. And some of us are driven by that. But I want to encourage you, as my friend Olga shared with me several months ago, this idea that when you are looking at someone else and sort of coveting what they have or comparing yourself to them, instead of making it a comparison and wondering, what are they doing better or whatever, what if you just thought about, how did they do that differently than me? What could I learn from what they've done? And is there an opportunity for me to have a conversation with them and understand, what worked for them? But I want you to know that comparison kills our joy. And our world is built on comparison and competition. It just is. And when you start to step away from that and look at your business differently, especially putting God at the center, people are going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think, why aren't you driving and striving? And if you just did more and just go get it. And they're going to think you're crazy, that you're not working, that you've lost your zest for what you're doing. And actually, you're gaining joy for what you're doing when you stop being in the comparison cycle. So I'm going to look up some scriptures around that, and I'll post them below. But I also wanted to speak to you about adversity. So a lot of times we have adversity in our life and we can't see a purpose. And as humans, we're always trying to dig in and figure out, like, why is this happening and what is happening and what does God mean by this and that kind of thing. So I just want to take you through a few verses in the book of Hebrews. Hey, Sherry. Hebrews 4 through 12 is really, 4 through 11 is really what I'm referring to. And I am reading out of, hold on, let me show you. So this is the Bible that I use. Good morning, my friend. And I was fortunate that this was gifted to me at the beginning of my kingdom walk by a mentor of mine. And I'll tell you, I just can't get enough of it because I love digging in and there's commentary. I'll show you. Hold on. Good morning, Shannon. So as I read through, there's also commentary. And I love that because it helps me to dig into the word and better understand what it means. So anyway, so this is about adversity and in Hebrews 12. And here's the thing is that God sometimes allows difficulty in our life to deepen us, to train us, to strengthen areas of weakness or strongholds that we have. So I know in my own life, if you listen to the Facebook Live that I did on last Monday night in my Success God's Way group community, you know I shared vulnerably about my journey as an entrepreneur. And I can look back and see that the adversity God allowed in my life was because he needed to break down strongholds, my strongholds of pride, my strongholds of needing recognition, my strongholds of ego. And so the point is that brokenness is God's requirement for maximal usefulness in his world. So he has to break us of those things, which is why he allows the adversity so that we can learn to lean into him, so that we can learn that our strength is through him, and so that we can show up differently in the world and have the impact that he has for us. And so this talks about in Hebrews 12:5, and you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as to sons. My sons, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are rebuked by him. For whom the Lord loves, I think it's chastens, not chastens, chastens, and scourges every son whom he receives. So just like our parents discipline us, does our Heavenly Father who created us, our ultimate Father, does he not discipline us? Yes, he does. And then I just want to read you this one and then the comment on it, which is Hebrews 12:11. Now, no chastening seems to be joyful. No, of course, we don't want to be in the adversity. We don't want to be disciplined for the present, but it's painful. Nevertheless, afterward, it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. And so the commentary, I'm going to let you look at it while I read it. So the comment on this, if you can see that, is that no one likes to be disciplined. It's never pleasant because it requires a change in our perspective, our goals, our behavior, and attitude. Deeply entrenched sinfulness and destructive habits are rooted out, and our earthly sources of security are destroyed. This is all very painful and difficult, but if we cooperate with God, when he corrects us, we will become more like him, and great blessings will result. So what does that mean as a God-centered entrepreneur or someone who's seeking to build a God-centered business? Our earthly sources of security are destroyed, and we know that it requires change, a change in our perspective, a change in our goals. And so as you are seeking to build a God-centered business, and we talked about goal setting all this week on the Daily Dose. Morning, Linda. You will find that your perspective changes, your idea of success changes, right? Like success God's way. Your goals change. The security and recognition that you seek from the world, those things begin to change. And it doesn't mean that you lose your edge, if you will, your edge as a business owner. It means that you approach your business differently. And when you begin to approach your business differently, seeking to build a business that honors God and serves his people, that gives more than you get, I promise you, the results of your business will be greater. They'll be more fulfilling. And I'm not going to say that connects directly to the math of your business, because when this talks about when God corrects us, we become more like him and great blessings result. Guys, do not mistake that for prosperity gospel and that it's going to be material and that's going to be money and titles and blah, blah, blah. Those blessings are going to be what God entitles them to be. But my point is that you're going to grow your business in a different way. And I promise you that if you are being God-centered, you're spending that time with him, and you're building a business to honor him and serve his people, that he will bless that and he will bring people his way, because that's if that business is already part of his plan for you. Like, he's already aligned the people that you're going to be able to serve. So anyway, so that's the scoop. That's your daily dose for the day. Like I said, I will post the scriptures around comparison because I can think of a few. But here's your action. Number one, if this resonates with you, please give me a like, a thumbs up, a heart, a comment, whatever. If there's anyone you know that could benefit from this, please feel free to share it with them. Number two, please join us in the Success God's Way community. We're building a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who seek to build a God-centered business, who seek to build a business that honors God and serves his people. And it's starting to grow, and we're starting to get more interaction together. And I'm super excited to see how engaging in those conversations helps everyone. Number three, I am going live this Sunday night, 9 p.m. in my Success God's Way community. Hey, Maureen, good to see you. And I'm going to be unfolding and unpacking some of the things that I learned when I saw TD Jakes 2 weeks ago today on January 5th. And you don't want to miss it, because there's some really interesting pieces about vision and success. And I'm super excited to unpack that with you. I've been really waiting to do it, and I can't wait to do it this weekend. So that's it. So that's your daily dose. I will have a daily dose tomorrow, even though I'm doing my live. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how this resonated with you. And even share if you've had some adversity and now you have a different perspective because of it, or as you're going through it. Please share, because people can learn from that, you guys. And that's exactly why I am doing what I'm doing as a Hustle with Heart coach, and even in my Arbonne business, helping people to feed their lives and their health with clean eating, etc. So that's the scoop. I'll see you guys tomorrow.